So today I am going to giving you a walkthrough of how to take notes from your sources to write your paper. And to start off, what I want to do is tell you that the real purpose of this is really to get you to generate enough notes from your sources that enables you to have a better idea of what it is you want to write about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the process of note-taking that I use when I'm writing a book or an article or any kind of research work. Really, I often start by just digging through my sources and finding things that are interesting to me and things that seem to relate somehow to the assignment or to the topic that I'm writing about. A lot of times I go and I approach a topic and I'm not really quite sure exactly what the topic is, but as I dig through my sources, I start to find out what they are. So for the note-taking assignment, I want you to take a total of 5 pages of notes using the method that I'm using here. And I would tell you to use a 12-point font, and you can double space it as well for your notes if you want. You don't have to double space, but at least use a 12-point font, Times New Roman or something comparable to that, and feel free to double space if you like. The source that I'm working with today is the Dictionary of Gnosis and Western Esotericism, and as you see, we have all of the publication information in this particular document. So since you have to use that information in your writing, what I do is I will use the MLA citation method as the title for the piece. So you can see right here, I'm going to pull from Fritz Graf's Magic One Antiquity article in Dictionary of Gnosis and Western Esotericism. And so that is the title. And then when I want to create my works cited list, I can just go down and select that and cut and paste it into my works cited list. So that's the reason that I use this particular approach for making a title. And then as I'm writing my notes, it's a simple matter to just go into the document that I'm looking at and scroll through until I find some information that I find interesting. So we see a sentence here that is interesting to us, and this sentence is this one right here. From early on, it was debated whether the Persian Magoi were philosophers or wizards. In Persian itself, magus could have a negative connotation. So let's say we find that really interesting. So what I do is I click and I drag over that, and then I copy, and then I go over to my Word document. Sorry about that, that's not the right. I go over to my Word document and I will paste that data into the document right there. Now, as you can see by looking at the document, it didn't come out in the right font, but we can fix that. You can go over here and we'll see it came out kind of funky. You just space back so you get a full line. And then you can just grab this because this is the right kind of font, and we can hit our format paint tool, and there we have a nice quotation. You might do a little tweaking from the document, pasted right into our note-taking thing. Now, of course, the important thing here is you need to know what page this quote is on. So for that, we just go right back to our document and we find out the page that we're looking at. So we've typed in 719, that's the page number, and then we've written this note. And so what I want you to do is I want you to go through your sources and I want you to get 5 pages of notes using this system for at least 3 of your different sources that you're using. And this is the method that I use. And then if I'm writing an article, I will draw from this quote. So let's say I'm going to write a brilliant sentence from this quote that I have here. This is the imaginary paper. Okay, so in the paper, I would write something along the lines of, in ancient Greece, there was controversy about what magoi were. Sorry, they were. Some thought of them as philosophers and some as wizards. And then I'll put in my citation, that is Groff, page 719. And that is ultimately how you can use this is how you can use a document like this in order to write your paper. Now, this is the imaginary part of my paper, so I was just showing you how I would integrate this quote from page 719 into my writing. In this particular video so far, I've only shown you how to use cutting and pasting to write your notes in these note-taking documents. However, what happens if you have a print document you can't cut and paste from? What I suggest is to use the dictation function. There's a dictation function in Google Docs, by the way, if you're somebody who uses Google Docs. But if you look on the screen right here, up towards the upper right, 2 blocks over from the editor icon, you'll see a little microphone and it says dictate. And if you click that, you can speak into your computer and it will actually write things out for you. And there are ways of using dictate so that you can create colons. So for instance, if I wanted to write that line you see from page 719 using dictation, I would say 719 colon, from early on, comma, it was debated whether the Persian magoi were philosophers or wizards, open parentheses, in Persian itself, comma, magus could have a negative connotation as well, close parentheses, period. And if I were to say all of that out loud, the same kind of formatting is what you would get. Now, when you're using dictation to read from notes, and I find that reading from notes and using dictation is much faster than actually trying to write out everything that I see, and it kind of interferes with my reading process and stretches everything out. You just need to be aware that there will be little mistakes and spelling mistakes and strange punctuation things that happen. But if you write all that out, you only need to fix the citations that you decide to use. Now, another cool function that you can get from using this system is that you can then fast search. So if I wanted to do a Control F fast search and look for the word magoi, M-A-G-O-I, and let's say I had a whole bunch of notes from this source, then I could just type in the word magoi and it would hit all of these different, it would hit all of the different occurrences of that word. So use print sources, and to speed up the process, think about using the dictation process on your computer when you're taking notes. Good luck with your note-taking assignment. If you have any questions on the note-taking process, please contact me as soon as possible, because all of the week, all of Unit 3 is all about taking these notes so that you can develop material for your paper. If you have any questions whatsoever on how to format your notes and on how to integrate this into your writing, please let me know. But for this week's learning unit, all you're going to be expected to do is to write 5 pages of notes using this method that I've just described to you, using 3 sources. So I hope that was helpful to you. Please contact me if you have any questions.